I'm not going to be boxed into what I think is a failing two-party system where we're not putting up our best candidates.
So you
it's
would
just
throw away
it's not throwing away my vote.
The nonsense just never ends with these people. Before we dive deep into the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and please share so we can get the word out there. Now let's just dive into this whole thing with The View. I don't know if any of you can watch it. This show is so hard to stomach for even longer than one segment, let alone I believe they're on TV for an hour. It's hard to believe that people can sit down with coffee or whatever and watch this show in its entirety, because the stuff that the things they utter is just ridiculous. Look at this first segment, then we'll get to the second one. Look at this.
It is very difficult when you have grown up in a party, when you have worked in a party, when you've got party loyalty. It's very difficult to go from I'm not going to vote to I'm going to vote for the Democrat. I've done it. I did it in 2016.
What did you do?
I voted for Hillary Clinton, and I voted for Joe Biden. And I'm going to vote for Joe Biden again, because if the choice is a man who, in my view, is a threat to national security, a threat to democracy, a threat to world order, evil, crazy, and unstable, and I have a binary choice. I either vote for the whack job, or I vote for Joe Biden.
And you see, this is what they do constantly on this show. They don't add any kind of value. They don't bring up anything. She just go, a threat to world order, somebody who's crazy, demented. She's going about all of this stuff. Let's talk about policies. Let's talk about then and now. Was there a risk of World War III then, or is there one now? Was the market in better shape then or now? Were prices lower then or now? They don't get into any of that stuff, the things that affect the American people. What their whole thing is they hate Trump so much that they said, listen, we'll just vote for anybody. So it doesn't matter if Joe's, it could be literally a gerbil or a hamster. Actually, they actually have more IQ than Joe would have.
Let me start off with two words: made in America.
Now, in this next quick segment, you have Alyssa Farah Griffin. She's the conservative on the panel, so to speak, and she used to work in the Trump administration. And she goes out and makes the mistake in front of Joy and Whoopi, all these people, makes the mistake to say, oh, I'm not going to vote for Joe, and watch what happens. Look at this.
The answer might be different if I lived in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, a swing district where my vote could be the difference between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. That would be a different scenario. I'm voting in Manhattan. I am going to write in someone. I'll likely write in Will Hurd, but I'm still open. I love Tim Scott. I could vote for Nikki Haley, but I'm not going to compromise.
Why bother voting?
You should, because there's a down ballot races. I care about local.
Invalid vote.
I care about local races. I care about my governor.
Well,
I care
vote
about
for them.
And I'm going to, and I'm going to write in who I want. But I'm not going to be boxed into what I think is a failing two-party system where we're not putting up our best candidates.
So you just throw away
it's not throwing away my vote. It's not. I don't see it as
with a
throwing
lot
it
of
away.
people that sit in that seat and have said they cannot. A lot of it'd be like asking you to vote the other way. There are people that don't agree on policy.
I think I agree with Anna. I would never throw away.
It's not throwing away.
My
I'm
presidential
casting my vote.
when my people fought so hard.
It's not throwing away. I'm casting my vote.
And see what happens if you don't bend the knee and go to their will. They're going to say you're just throwing away your vote. If you're not going to vote for Joe and you're going to vote for some other candidate, you're just throwing away your vote. You see how this works? But if her whole attitude was different and said, I'm voting for Joe, you wouldn't have had this. But this is what happens when you go out of their realm and you don't fall right in line to what they want. They're going to just cast you out. You can tell she cannot stand. She probably hates that she even took the position on this show. I don't even see her lasting that long. And then you see what Sunny Holston does every single time. It always goes back to race and slave and all this stuff every single time. I would never throw away my vote for what happened with my people that died for the right. And just this not, it always has to go back to a race baiting thing every single time with this woman. She does it constantly on this show. And as much as I can't stand it, I would love to be on a segment on this show. This is basically their argument. Trump is evil. Everybody else on the Democrat side will just take anything. Even if it was John Fetterman, John Fetterwoman, even if it was him.
What qualifies you to be a U.S. Senator? You have 60 seconds.
Hi, good night, everybody.
I guarantee you, they rather vote for him than Trump. It could be Jeffrey Dahmer. It could be anybody. That's how the derangement syndrome is so far implanted into their skulls that they'll take anybody. And that's the problem. It never comes up to policy. It's just a whole bunch of nonsense. You had the world safer. You had just peace throughout the Middle East for the first time in God knows how long, but that's not good enough. We have to make up all this nonsense that's not based in any kind of reality just to say we're going to prop up this candidate. And that's why the ratings for a lot of these shows, the news and all that is tanking, because people see completely right through it. So tell me your guys' thoughts about all this stuff I just dove into. At the end of the day, am I crazy? Can you say that right now is better than back then under Trump? If you can make that argument, you can go step by step how it's so much better, and especially with foreign policy, I'll throw my hands up, have at it. At the end of the day, I don't believe that it's not even close. It's not even in the same hemisphere. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed, and please share it if you guys get a chance so we can get the word out there. And I will catch you guys on the next one.